Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the 808 podcast where we interview business owners, CEOs, marketing directors, anyone else I feel like, whoever. And it is 4 questions in 8 minutes and 8 seconds because 808 looks like Bob, and here we go. Question number 1 in a few sentences. Tell us who you are and what do you do?
My name is Mike Sanders. I'm the founder and CEO of Interactive Government Holdings, IGH Inc., and we're a federal contractor that does business both in the DoD and civilian agencies.
Perfect. My question number 2, what advice do you want to share? Go.
How to recover from a major recompete loss. Cut drastically and immediately. Get rid of all niceties, luxuries, good to haves, and focus on only must-haves. And pivot your model, expand your network, expand your capabilities, and grow your revenue back as quickly as possible.
Okay, so when you say grow your revenue back, what are some things you did when you had to deal with that major recompete that actually got that revenue getting back up?
We joint ventured, we partnered more because at that point, I think 11 out of our 12 contracts were prime contracts. So we went out to sub some more. As a subcontractor, you typically don't have quite as heavy of a lift when it comes to program management or content. So, or proposal production, I should say. We did a combination of all those things, and we also looked at M&A, but we couldn't find a good target. So, through the joint venture, through some wins, and like I said, through cutting some costs, we were able to recover fairly within 6 months, which is fast in GovCon.
Right, and what is MMA? For people who don't know,
I'm sorry. M&A, mergers and acquisitions. We looked for companies to buy in order to sort of buy the revenue back, if you will.
Right, totally get it on there, that part there. So like when you first found out about the losing the contract there, like what were like the first thing that you did? Did you have to lay anyone off? I mean, what type of expenses did you cut?
I cried for several hours. I cut my own pay immediately to zero, and of course, not everyone can always afford to do that. But that's also kind of when it's sunshine, you should be preparing for the rain as a business owner. So, we had a $50 million contract for 3 years, so I should have been able to cut my pay after that for some period of time and been okay. We got rid of anybody that was support of that contract that we lost. That was just whether it was a data analyst or an office support person or whatever. We trimmed our staff to what we called to bare bones, essentially.
Right. Makes sense there. Let's get to question number 3.
Yes,
it is time for shout outs. And who are you shouting out today?
Oh, wow. So my executive coach, Janae John, she's from Harvard Business School. She teaches executives all over the world. She's helped me put together my executive team, by helping me interview each and every person that's on my team. She administers the Berkman test, which tells us, how we're going to work together, how we would work together, strengths and weaknesses, if you're familiar with it, and she does a comparison. So, we have a really tight executive team that's really high performing, and it's all A players and it's all A-type personalities, but we all get along, and I think that's because of Janae and how thoughtful, we were in putting the team together.
Love it there. Michael, it's time for question number 4, the final fun question. Tell me about your first sale.
Oh, first sale. My first prime contract at IGH was one person who worked in the lending closet at Fort Wainwright Army Base in Alaska. And the lending closet is when a family shows up, typically they show up before their stuff does. So the lending closet gives them sheets, pots, pans, necessities a family would need that, hopefully they don't have to buy, before their stuff shows up. So we had one full-time employee in Fort Wainwright, Alaska. That was my first prime contract.
Perfect. Love it there. So, Michael, you've got 3 minutes and 20 seconds left. You can do some promo time. You can ask me a question. You can talk about the weather. Or since the best know when to be concise and when to end, we end early. Go for it.
Sure. How long have you been doing the podcast for?
I've been doing it for about 3 years, getting close on the 3-year mark, and I've done about 1,400 episodes. I think it's at 1,500. After 1,000, you kind of just stop counting.
So that's almost a podcast per day.
Pretty much.
And do you do all the outreach yourself, or do you have a team that helps you?
I do have I've done everything from automation, manual, have a team to help. It all depends on the strategy and everything. And now that LinkedIn's changed its strategy, obviously the full on reaching out to people on LinkedIn, cold messaging isn't as effective as it used to be. So now it's changing things up. So it's funny in that space, a lot of people were freaking out. And my attitude was, okay, things change, whatever, it's bound to happen, eventually. So switch it up.
Yeah, all the social media platforms went through it, right? You remember when Twitter first came on, it was like you could invite thousands of people, you could follow thousands of people a day, in hopes that they would follow you back, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, wait a second here, people are abusing this. They're not just following, so I think it's incumbent upon every business owner, no matter what your platform or your business, to always be aware of what's going on in the industry and be able to pivot, So, did prior to COVID, did you do in-person podcasts, or
Nope.
You've always done virtual?
I've always done virtual. The problem is with in-person podcasts is there's so many things that can go wrong. Background and sound and everything. And my goal is I build the whole system to where there's the least amount of things that can fail as possible.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, as soon as COVID hit, before Zoom upgraded their servers, sometimes you'd have to wait 20 seconds and stare at the camera before it started recording.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
So it was like this, let people know, okay, that's just how it is. Let's just adjust.
Yeah, it's been funny as at the beginning of COVID, I noticed a big slowdown during the day, and I would always joke, I was like, all these damn kids are trying to learn right now. It's messing up
damn kids.
The business people's network, so so that's interesting. Out of the 1,400 episodes, who's been your most interesting guest?
My personal favorite is Benjamin, UK's worst salesperson. He gave me some really good tips. So I love that guy. He was actually the only podcast I've ever fanboyed on. I even told him beforehand. I'm like, okay, dude, just to let you know, I'm fanboying right now because I really love your stuff.
That's really funny.
So there we go. Hey, you got 30 seconds left. Do you want to do some promo time for Interactive Government Holdings? And if not, I'm flexible.
We're a federal contractor. All our information is public information. Our website's, interactivegov.com. And, I appreciate the opportunity to be on a podcast. And, every time I'm on one, I thoroughly enjoy it. And I enjoy the conversation, and I love talking about business. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, and that's the big buzzer. We are done there. You pulled it off. 4 questions in 8 minutes and 8 seconds. Michael, why is it 8 minutes and 8 seconds?
Looks like Bob.
It does. Your website, say it real quick.
Interactivegov.com.
Okay, it's in the description. It's magic. Michael, thank you so much for being on. Tip of the hat to you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. And for everyone else watching or listening, I am legally required to tell you to like, share, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell, whatever the heck the social media network tells you to do. You all have a wonderful day now. Talk to you later. Bye.